For downright enjoyment and fun, no sport is the equal of swimming. Everyone, young or old, rich or poor, can participate. Of course, to get the most out of water sports, one should know how to swim. But literally hundreds of thousands of people who bathe don't know how. Yet it's so easy to learn. Even if you're only a splasher, a knowledge of swimming makes your play safer, happier, and increases your enjoyment. There are three factors in learning. First, to get confidence in yourself. Second, to learn the fundamentals. And third, practice. The confidence method, which this film will reveal to you, takes care of the first two elements. There are several phases in the instruction that will be taken up in order. You must get used to the water, learn that it will support you, and learn to move through it. When a group is practicing for safety's sake, they pair off and the buddies keep together, helping and protecting each other. As a first step in learning, jump in the water and play around. Submerge to the chin. Rub water in your face. Dunk like a donut. Get the feel of the water, the lower temperature, the wetness. To feel the pressure of the water and the buoyancy, walk out until you are chest deep. It'll be harder to breathe because of the pressure, but you can overcome that, and as you walk deeper, you'll feel the lift of the water, a tendency to float. Now, in shallow water, sit down and put your hands on the bottom. Let your legs and hips float off, and the water supports you. Back in floating position, and roll over. Steady yourself on your fingertips and start kicking. Feel how the kick pushes you forward. Each thrash of your legs moves you a few inches. Proper breathing in swimming is so important that you must begin practicing early. The face is in the water a good part of the time. Therefore, you must learn to get a breath quickly when the face is above water and to hold the breath or exhale when the face is submerged. First, we practice breath holding. Take a deep breath. Put your face in the water. Now hold while you count 5. Repeat this several times. Now go straight down until the head is covered, holding the breath. Now open your eyes. Doesn't hurt a bit. Next, to learn how to breathe. Take a breath, put the face under, and exhale through the mouth. Roll the face up until you can breathe, and then under and exhale through the mouth. Keep it up until you're good at it, 10, 20, 50 times without stopping. This is rhythmic breathing, one of the foundation stones of good swimming. Master it now, so that later, when you have learned how to swim, you won't have to think about it. Now for bobbing practice. Still rhythmic breathing, but more like the way it'll be when you're swimming. Out through the mouth, up. Out through the mouth, up. While we're still in shallow water, let's practice the kick. Drive the legs up and down, one at a time, kicking from the hips, loose, flexible, a good thrust on each down beat. The next thing is to learn how to float. There's no better place to learn than in shallow water, with the help of a partner. Learn to let the water support your weight so that when you start swimming, your buoyancy will keep you on top, your strokes will be used to drive you forward. Most people float like this, in a balanced position. A few lucky individuals float like this with their toes out of the water. Some are so heavy in the legs that they float vertically, and the few unfortunates who are too heavy to float support themselves for rest with a few gentle kicks. Now to learn how to float. To prove to yourself that you're buoyant, try this trick. Benjamin Franklin wrote to his nephew, "Take an egg or white stone, toss it into shallow water, and try to get it. You'll be surprised to find that it takes real effort to reach the bottom. You may have to try several times." If you want more definite proof, try the jellyfish float. Slide the hands down the legs and your feet will float off the bottom. Your whole weight is supported by the water. From the jellyfish, raise the arms and the legs until you are stretched out. Then pull your feet back under you and stand up. Let's try the back float. When your body is supported by the water, take your hands off the bottom and you are floating, even though your heels are touching. In deeper water, your partner supports you until you are in floating position, then eases his hands away and leaves you afloat. If you have difficulty getting back on your feet, pull yourself up by your nose. It works, believe it or not. You have learned that the water will support you, and you're not afraid to put your face under. Now, let's learn how to move through the water, and we do it in the same simple manner. From waist-deep water, take a full breath, shove off face down, let your feet come up, and slide in toward shore. Now do the same thing and add a kick to keep going. Try kicking practice on the back just for a change. Here you don't even have to hold the breath. Push against the water with your feet. This is an excellent stroke to use when you get tired. In learning to swim, the arms are first used in a dog paddle stroke. Watch how the hand reaches out, pulls down under the body, and gets back to position. Notice also how one arm is always extended forward, while the other is pulling. Now take a glide and just use the arms. Let the feet trail while you concentrate entirely on learning the arm stroke. Facing shore in shallow water, we now try, in combination, the arm and leg strokes we've been practicing separately. To balance the stroke, try to time it so the right leg kicks as the left arm pulls, and the left leg kicks as the right arm pulls. Try this again and again, so that before you leave shallow water, with this stroke you can swim twice the distance along shore that you will swim away from shore. When the beginner's stroke is mastered, one simple change will convert it into a beginner's crawl. You simply bring the arms back above water instead of underneath, like this. Now you're afloat and navigating under your own power, but you're not ready for deep water until you have practiced all these fundamentals and have learned a few more simple things for safety. For example, finning, a simple little hand stroke that pushes you along in the back floating position. But this is only half a stroke. If you use the double push in a figure 8, you are sculling, one of the most useful strokes in swimming. While you're still in shallow water, practice the turn. Simply stick an arm out and pull yourself around. You've got to learn this before you get in deep water so you can get back. To turn on your back and rest, just stick one arm out and roll over. Kick your way along or float. See how simple it is? To turn back again, step over your own leg. Watch it again. If you should accidentally step in a hole or find yourself in water too deep and you can't touch, there's nothing to get excited about. Just climb back to the surface and keep on swimming. Here's your first test. Jump into deep water, level off, and swim out. This test should be taken only under expert supervision. Turn around. Turn over and swim on your back. Turn again and swim ashore. What you do from now on is up to you. Whether you are interested in swimming just for fun, for speed, or for distance, you must practice. If you want to dive, that takes practice too. If you work hard enough at it, you may even be able to dive like this. The beginner's stroke is just a start. To swim like this, you must learn better strokes and practice them constantly. You may not want to be a champion like this girl, but you should try to master one or two strokes that will help you enjoy the water to the utmost. All swimming is based on only 3 kinds of arm strokes and 3 kinds of leg strokes. And here they are. First, the flutter kick. Legs thrashing from the hips in a loose, flexible up and down motion. The body rolls slightly from side to side. The scissors, a slower stroke, but with lots of power in its slashing drive. The knees are drawn up, then the legs are spread and driven back against the water with full power applied. You can't see it all from this angle, but from the rear you can see how wide the legs are spread to get the greatest push. Notice that the kick alone is driving him. This stroke has 2 names, breaststroke kick or frog kick. Here again, as in the scissors, the legs are drawn, spread, and pressed backward against the water. Now for the arm strokes, hand over hand first, used in the crawl and the trudgeon. Notice how the arms follow each other, entering the water cleanly, pulling down under the body, and lifting out to get back to position. The side stroke. The forward arm pulls, then passes the stroke along to the rear arm and returns to gliding position. The rear arm pulls, then slides back just under the surface. The breaststroke is an old favorite. The wide sweep of the arm gives plenty of driving force. Notice that the arms start to bend for recovery when the pull reaches shoulder level. A good way to practice leg strokes is on the kickboard, a 3-foot length of plank. The board supports the arms and upper body so that you can concentrate on refining and strengthening your strokes. These strokes are the foundation of good swimming and must be practiced over and over again until they are strong and efficient. Remember that all styles of swimming are combinations of these basic strokes. Now, the combinations. First, the elementary backstroke, just a step beyond the beginner's backstroke. Breathing is no problem. This is the easiest stroke to learn, as it is only a back float with paired arm and leg strokes added. If the arms are stretched beyond the head and the stroke of arms and legs alternated, you are swimming an inverted breaststroke. Turn over on the front, shorten the arm stroke a bit, and you're swimming the breaststroke. The breaststroke begins and ends with arms and legs extended. Do it this way and you can't go wrong. Notice how slowly the swimmer strokes. In this stroke, buoyancy is good and practically all effort is directed to moving through the water. Watch this Olympic champion, holder of many world's records in the breaststroke. Every movement designed to push her forward, even to the toes. Notice the sequence. Pull, kick, glide. The side stroke is popular for general use. It's a combination of an alternate arm stroke and a scissors. The long glide on the forward arm supports you while the combined strokes of the legs and the other arm drive you forward. If you recover the top arm over water, it becomes the overarm side stroke, just as effective and somewhat faster. If you roll from side to side and recover both arms over water, you'll be swimming the trudgeon. Now for the fastest strokes of all, the back crawl and the crawl. Watch the back crawl first. It's easier to learn because the face is always above water. The hand-over-hand stroke reversed, combined with the flutter kick, makes up this stroke. 6 beats of the legs to every double arm stroke. This is the timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the front, it's the crawl, hand over hand, combined with a flutter, as in the back crawl, but with breathing added. 1 breath in every complete stroke, inhaling above the surface and exhaling beneath. One of the fundamental things we learned way back there at the beginning. These swimmers are champions because of their mastery of fundamentals and plenty of practice. You too can become, if not a champion, certainly a skilled waterman like Ross Allen, who has developed the ability to swim underwater with such speed that he can and does catch alligators in their native element. Down, 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 20, 30, 40 feet underwater with ease. But this expert, even as you and I, was once a beginner.